Hey guys, it's Kim. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Stephanie Garber's debut novel, Caraval. I got this book a couple weeks back at the Fest 2016. I'm just going to tell you all my own personal thoughts and opinions about this. Okay, so this is going to be a non-spoiler, or a spoiler-free review because, I mean, it's an arc, it's not out yet. I mean, there are technically, I think, some mini spoilers, I guess you could call them, but they take place like within the first chapter, so I don't really think it'll matter, but just so you know. So Caraval is about a magical circus named Caraval, and Scarlett, who's the protagonist, has grown up hearing about this magical circus, so she's always been like, oh, I want to go, and stuff like that. So when she's around like 17 is I think all she is in the book, she gets the opportunity to go with her sister Donatella, who's her best friend. So they go to this circus, and at this circus, every year they play like a game where the people who go can either participate or view like all the stuff that happens. And this year's objective is to save Donatella, who's kidnapped by the person who runs the circus, and his name is Legend. So Scarlett obviously has to, throughout the book, she has to use the clues that are given to her and like find out who she can trust and what she should do and what she shouldn't do, and just like all this wacky stuff happens while she's trying to save her sister, you know, because obviously she wants to save her because it's her sister, and whoever saves her is also the winner of this year's game. So I really personally myself really enjoyed reading Caraval. When I got the book, I don't even know necessarily what I was expecting, but like what I read was not what I was expecting at all. But I really enjoyed it. I think Garber does a really good job with the whole world she created and how it all played out, you know? Alright, so I really like how Stephanie Garber wrote this book. I mean, I liked everything about it. I liked the world, the characters, just everything. For the characters specifically, Scarlett, who's the protagonist, I loved reading from her point of view, and well, really her point of view is the only point of view, but I loved reading from it because for me personally, when I read a book, I tend to get really annoyed with the characters, with the decisions that they're making. Even though I understand why they're making their decisions, they still annoy me for some reason, and I'll like want to stop reading the book and like pick it up later. But for this particular book, that wasn't the case. Like, I was reading it and I was like, oh my god, like I want to know what happened, I'm gonna keep reading. Even though some of the choices that Scarlett makes, I was like, really, Scarlett? Like, really? But I was still like really wrapped up in the book. Like, I wanted to keep reading and I couldn't because I had school stuff to do. But anyway, I really like Scarlett. I also really like the other characters that she created, like the performers and just like everyone that she interacts with. I think she did a really good job with that. And the villains that she made, because you can't have a book without villains, but the villains that she made were really like cruel. I was like, oh my god, how can you be that cruel, you know? But she did a good job with that, and the way that Scarlett reacts to that cruelty, I think, is really realistic, and I enjoyed seeing that play out. The circus that she created, oh my god, like, she did a really good job. I didn't see it when I was reading it, but afterwards, like, when I was done reading it and I was thinking about it, I was like, this is really Alice in Wonderland-ish, you know? Not like that she goes into a rabbit hole and like all this stuff happens, but just the situations that Garber places her in, like if you think about it, you're like, okay, that's really trippy, like, and weird. But let me be very clear, this is not anything like Alice in Wonderland. It's not a retelling, it's like nothing like that. It's just kind of like, when I was thinking it, that's just kind of what I was like, oh, that's kind of, just the situation, like, when you're reading it, like, and you think about it, it's kind of, the craziness aspect of it is kind of like that, so that's why I'm comparing it to it, but the books are nothing like alike plot-wise. I think I would give this book 4 out of 5 stars just because the ending, I felt, it wasn't rushed. I don't want to say it was rushed because, well, it kind of was, but what bothered me about it was that I feel like everything wasn't like neatly tied up. Although it's not like one of those other open-ended books that I've read where like you really don't know what's gonna happen. It's just kind of like, here, this is the ending, and then you have no idea what's gonna happen to the characters. This one, she doesn't really tie it up like real nice and neat, but she does in a way that where even though you don't know, like the characters aren't there yet, you know where it's going. So that's one of the reasons that I was like, Okay, 4 out of 5 stars, because it did feel kind of, not rushed, but rushed. It does have an epilogue, and I was really excited, you know, to read the epilogue, because I was like, oh, okay, maybe she'll like really wrap it up. But she doesn't. In the epilogue, she sets it up for a second book, which I did not know that was gonna happen going in. But oh my god, guys. The epilogue, I was like, yes! You know, I was having like a huge fangirl moment. Because if she wrote a second book, I don't think it would be about Scarlet. It would be about another character, which I'm not gonna tell you who it is because read the book. But trust me, if you like the book, if you really enjoy it the way I did, I think you'll be super, super excited about the epilogue because, I mean, this is a character that I really want a book for, so. Suffice it to say, I'm more excited about the second book than I was about the first one, and I was excited about that because, I mean, Caraval sounded really intriguing to me before I got my hands on it. Alright, so I feel like I didn't do this book the justice it deserved with my rambling and everything, but I would recommend this book to people because I really, really, really particularly enjoyed Stephanie Garber's book, and in the future, if I see her name on another book, I'm probably gonna buy it because, like I said, I like the way she writes. So this book comes out January of 2017. I think it's like towards the end of January, honestly though, but I would definitely pre-order this book if I didn't have it. So anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed. In the comments below, if y'all like, leave me y'all's most anticipated reads of 2017. I'd really like to see what they are. And I don't know, maybe we have the same ones, but yeah. If y'all like this video, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.